Guys, I am Supercar Ron, and I am here at the Melrose Air Force Range, just outside of the Cannon Air Force Special Ops Division. This is where they do strafing, bombing, and practice jumping out of planes like we just saw. We flew in here on a C-130, absolutely unbelievable stuff, plenty more to come, but check out what we're doing today.
What do you got mounted up there?
I think it's a 50 cal. Bro, I feel bad for anybody that thinks they can take on the United States of America. You guys, a week ago, we got a message from my buddy Will that said, hey, the Air Force wants you guys to come out and they're gonna do a huge show of force for you. Like, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing here today. But they said, we're not even gonna tell you what you're gonna do, so this is gonna be so sick.
Vest. Okay. Getting a helmet. Some gloves for the range.
This is sick.
Dude.
So sick.
And some iPro there for the range. And one thing also attached to each one of yours is we made you all some dog tags.
Yo! It's official.
So the dog tags you all get to keep. But
did he do B-Dog? Is that the one?
So we got real names other than Supercar Ron's got a Supercar Ron.
Yeah, let's go.
You good? Yeah, that's all I got in you.
Yo.
That's sexy.
But what they do is they Frankenstein kind of just modify everything. The big differences is you got the yoke. That's what they use to actually give consent to actually employ the guns. To the left of the cockpit, right there, it actually has a screen. When there's power on applied and mission power is on, it actually has kind of like green sights. And basically whatever the sensors are pointing to, it just superimposes on the ground so we can see exactly what they're looking at.
So the pilot is actually doing substantially more than just flying the plane.
The pilot is doing basic like situation awareness of the ground,
Yeah.
but the actual people employing weapons are in the back.
Yeah.
So this is
Officers
all pilot
back
stuff,
here?
no guns up here.
How old is this plane?
Well, if you look at the tail number, it's pretty new. It's probably like 2018, something
really?
like that.
Wow. So how do you first start this thing up?
The initial way is
He's
really
studying.
the star switches that are up there. But you'd have to start a small generator first.
Does it have like an APU?
Yeah,
Is that what it is?
Yep,
Okay.
auxiliary power unit. And then once you have that type of airflow and everything, then you can start the actual engines.
We're good to go now? Yeah. All right.
We were on the AC-130 gunship. We were just in the cockpit. You guys know that I'm a big gun guy. I've got a whole gun vault. So I've decided to add a new weapon to my collection. It's really exciting. In fact, could you tell us about it really quick?
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is our 30 millimeter cannon. It's a belt-fed, chain-operated gun. Shoots about 200 rounds a minute. We usually shoot high explosive incendiary rounds. In here are the ammo bins. They will store about 255 rounds, and they're fed through these chutes into the gun. We can swap feeds from the upper to the lower as we need, and we can reload out of these bins here. These can hold another additional 270, 255 rounds, somewhere around there.
Is there a name for this?
This is GAU 23.
GAU 23.
GAU 23. Okay.
Just added to the shopping list.
But it shoots 30 mil rounds. Yes, sir. This is where the Wizzos sit in the AC-130. They have cameras, really sophisticated high-def cameras that are sitting outside the airplane. There are 7 screens here that these operators use to identify targets and terrain and other things like that. And this is where they sit in the back of the AC-130 gunship. They're actually sandwiched between a 30 mil cannon right in front of them and a 105 mil cannon in the back. So what I was just told is when they get those things running, there's a lot of smoke that fills this cabin. I'm like, how do you get that out? They literally was like, well, hopefully it just filters out, you know? And I'm like, man, this has to be an intense situation, but these guys are actually running the guns. So as soon as they're on target, the gunners are the ones reloading, clearing jams, making sure the guns are working properly. But these are the crew, this is the crew right here that is actually running the weapons. Oh, that's 45 pounds of, and this is what it actually feels like. This is kind of what it weighs.
Very, very similar, yes.
Okay, and you got 80 rounds of these.
Yes, sir.
And then you manually load them. Where do you put this in? Just right here in the back?
Here,
Okay.
in the breech. In the breech right there.
Like this. Load it on in.
All in.
Push it all the way in.
Yep.
Does it stop?
Yes, sir. Now you just got to raise the breech.
Oh, now you got to raise the breech. Okay. Okay.
And once it's in there, they will slave the gun to the sensor, so wherever those sensors are pointing, the gun will move to point with it, and then they'll call gun ready, and that means it's loaded, ready to go. And once we're aiming on target, we fire. And once it's fired, this thing will kick back all the way basically to the end of this cage.
Wow. Okay.
Moves the airplane about 4 to 6 feet in the air.
That's so sick.
And then once they're done, they eject. So if you want to show them the.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah,
get it
yeah,
real quick? Yeah.
So he ejects it out.
Okay.
Out
Eject
comes
out the piece
just
of brass.
the piece of brass. They'll throw
Be
that
about
off the
that
side.
section.
Load it in the next one.
You're throwing that down.
Throw
Like
it
it's
down
done.
until,
It's
until
spent.
we're done with that fire mission. Then we'll clean them up.
Okay. Deployment number 1, going on this AC-130. We're gonna go straight to some shit.
Basically, showed up at the Air Force Base.
They're throwing us the plane.
They've given us a safety briefing, and now
We're hopping on the C-130 and we have no idea where we're going.
I was just saying this to Aaron, but if I was working on an Air Force base and a bunch of YouTube, Instagram, TikTokers came on the base, I would not have the time of day for it. I hate myself. Kind of hate myself for being here, but once in a lifetime.
Check that beast out. We landed on a dirt runway.
And now where are we?
I think we're at the range.
We're at the range.
Yeah, we're at the range, dude.
Undisclosed private
Undisclosed
location.
So what am I sitting on right here?
This is one of our mini bikes that we use specifically for airfield seizure type stuff. So we can either jump them in with bundles like you guys just saw, or we can just ride them off the aircraft. And then it gives us the ability to ride up and down the airfield and clear it faster than having to be on foot.
So this is specific to like the mission of clearing and securing an airfield.
Yep.
Which makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're not going to ride these hundreds of miles, right?
No.
Like you're just going to ride it up and down the airfield, make sure everything's clear, make sure everything, is secure, look for enemies in the field, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. You said you might be going to e-bikes in the future because they're lighter, they might be, more capable, that kind of thing.
Obviously dirt bikes are loud.
Yes.
So in some scenarios, having something quieter would be a lot smarter for us. So e-bikes are the way. You can solar charge them. They're faster, they're bigger, but weigh the same. So it's just better.
Yeah. Before you guys jump, you push these out of the back of the C-130. And did you come off the airplane just now?
I didn't. No, I was
didn't?
down here
Okay.
for the ground party controlling the drop.
Okay.
They can package them up. We can do single bike bundles if we need to go out the doors.
Yep.
Out the ramp, they can do double bike bundles.
And how quick do you get them out of the bundle? Like, is it pretty? Is
Probably
it a
under
fast
a minute.
process? Oh,
Under
so,
a minute is like the goal. There's certain things you're allowed to cut, and you cut it just falls open, and as long as it starts, you're good.
I was
Which is another good thing for e-bikes because it's always going to start. for the
It's
most
always
part,
going to
yeah.
start. Honestly, it's always going to start. I was a little concerned because it's windy. There's like a strong crosswind.
Yeah.
And I was surprised they actually jumped out of the plane today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looked a little
Yeah,
rough.
It was good. The
Yeah.
winds were in criteria.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for your service.
of course.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, that moves.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think this one actually says no step on it.
Oh, does it? Shoot. Okay. No step. Let's go on up. Check this out.
Gang.
Gangsta.
What do you got mounted up there?
I think it's a 50 cal. You guys know everything I do is kind of centered around cars. We've got this amazing vehicle right behind us, and I have my friend Gavin here that's going to explain a little bit about what we're looking at. Gavin, thanks, brother. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. What do we have right here?
So right here is the JLTV, the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. This is the lightweight vehicle that is replacing the Humvee platform. So it just takes dudes from point A to point B as safely as possible. It resists mines, and you can mount multiple types of weapon systems on it. Pretty straightforward. Diesel, can go anywhere, anytime.
Who makes it?
Oshkosh is the manufacturer.
Oshkosh. Okay, so it's made here in the USA.
Yeah, it's made in the
Now,
USA.
you're calling it a light tactical vehicle,
Yes.
but it doesn't look very light to me. How light is it?
It ranges like in the around 20,000 pounds. It's pretty light.
Okay, so my lightweight vehicles are all under 3,000 pounds. All my sports cars that I think are light, they're under 3,000. This weighs 20,000 plus pounds.
Yes.
Okay, that's amazing. So why is it so heavy though? Honestly, it's the light tactical vehicle, but what happens in this thing?
What makes it so heavy is that it's able to resist like multiple types of like IEDs and explosives. So it's made to keep everyone inside as safe as possible. Because in the traditional Humvee, it's not very safe when it comes to IEDs and explosions. So this is just a huge upgrade as far as keeping everyone inside safe.
Can this repel any small arms fire?
Yeah, it's supposed to be able to repel like most like small arms fire.
Like it'll take a 50 cal and not penetrate?
I don't know about 50 cal, but
50 cal's pretty big, right?
Yeah, 50 cal's pretty big.
That's amazing. It fits 4 people, or how many people does this fit?
Normally 4 in the gunner. It's pretty typical.
4 and the gunner. And I sat up there on the turret.
Yeah.
And I mean, your field of view is actually really, really good.
Yeah,
you have to
bad.
use the joystick, I think, to kind of turn the turret, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it has a joystick, so it's a lot easier to move around and be able to use the gun.
And what is your function with this vehicle?
So I'm the vehicle maintenance guy.
Okay.
So I assist all the operators here with making sure their vehicles are all good to go and safe and operable.
That's awesome. So your job really helps protect the men and women that are using these vehicles out in the field.
Yes, sir.
That's incredible. I have owned a number of side-by-sides. I've owned Razors. My latest one was a Can-Am Maverick Turbo R Pro or something like that.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Oh, they rip. And I spent a grip load of money upgrading it.
Yeah.
But even then, my side-by-side did not look nearly as cool as this side-by-side.
Yeah.
So what on earth is this thing? You said is it a Razor?
Yeah, so it's made by Polaris. It's a Razor. It barely shares any parts with the traditional Razor.
Oh yeah,
it
actually says Razor right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's built for the ground up for military. That's why it's a lot longer and it has a bed and.
Same motor?
No, it uses a diesel.
It uses a diesel.
Yeah, so it's got an
Razor
inline
uses
4
a
diesel
motor. How sick is that though?
Yeah.
Actually, that actually is. Yeah.
It's not very fast, but the range on this, it can go a while.
Like how far can it go?
I haven't really tested it out, but I've easily gone over 100 miles.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go a ways in this thing.
You can go a long ways.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really capable. To me, it's more of a crawler than anything.
It obviously has kind of upgraded tires, wheels. I'm looking at suspension components. Is this metal? Is this?
No, it's
not really.
mostly plastic except for the roll bars.
Okay, so it's upgraded. A lot of it's visual though, right? Like, because this is, kind of painted plastic kind of stuff. Has a different motor, has the bed, like the longer, kind of.
Yeah, it has a longer bed so, guys can put all their equipment in. And it even has ways where we could put litters, so where if someone gets injured, we could put them on the litter, which is that bed, everyone gets carried around on.
Yes.
And we could attach that back there to get guys out.
Can you attach, arms to it? Can you throw some guns on it? Like,
Oh,
did they
yeah.
ever do that?
Yeah, we normally mount them on the sides by the doors.
Okay.
So we can mount guns on it. Nothing crazy like the 50 cal, but yeah, we can mount some considerable weapons on there.
So if you need to, you could provide some cover or protection or fire back, that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
With this vehicle. So there's probably a bunch of options. One of the reasons why I love these things is because you can do a whole wide variety.
So modular.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Just plug and play a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? You have these mounting points. Is this kind of for that, modular stuff that you can throw on the vehicle?
It's well, the tie downs, it has so many tie downs because it's made to go on multiple different types of aircraft.
Okay.
So it can be loaded up on a lot of different aircraft the Air Force has and other branches. And then those tie down points up there so it could be picked up from a helicopter to do airlift.
Dude, how sick would that be? Okay, Gavin, we are standing in front of it actually kind of looks like a Humvee.
Yeah.
It has the same basic shape and everything, but it's not a Humvee, right?
No.
So what is this thing?
This is the GMV 1.1. Actually a light vehicle, but this is not really like an armored platform. It's just kind of made as like a transport for guys doing like airfield stuff.
I see some of the guns that are mounted on this thing. I looked at this one out the passenger window.
Yeah.
It was a 5.56 caliber, and so and is that the top gun as well? I mean,
on these you can run up to a 50 cal as well.
You can run a 50.
But most guys like to run the smaller guns. These are more modifiable, so we could change out wheels, tires, kind of do some more customization, which is always fun for me.
Yes, no doubt. I mean, it almost looks customized as is, like paint matched wheels. You're running 37-inch Toyo Open Country MTs.
Yep.
I mean, those are aggressive tires,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So front and rear locking diff, I mean, does it have that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it has lockers and everything.
Okay.
So very capable. We've taken these things out pretty far.
This is probably an off-road machine then. Is it faster than the JLTV?
A little bit. It's lighter, so it's going to be faster, but
yeah,
they're all just made to just be able to go as far as is humanly possible.
Gotcha, okay. Of the 3 vehicles we've looked at, the Razor, the JLTV, or the 1.1, which one do you like the most?
Ooh, I don't know, personally I like the Razor. Razor's a lot more fun.
It's more nimble, right? Like
Oh, yeah,
you can throw
much
it
more
around a little
nimble.
bit more? Yeah.
Yeah, very nimble.
Razors are fun to drive for sure.
yeah.
Gavin, you are awesome for showing us around these,
I
these
appreciate you guys
amazing
coming by.
vehicles, bro. Seriously, thank you. Yeah. You guys, we have an Osprey and it's landing right in front of us right now. This is insane.
All right, you guys, we are just going about this day by the way of the wind. We don't know where we're going next. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know who we're going with. But we have just been told that we're hopping in some of these vehicles and heading off to the next location.
There we go. We are here at the live fire demonstration. We have an AC-130 gunship circling overhead right now. We got a bunch of old decommissioned tanks and airplanes sitting out in this big field. We're gonna go sit on the bleachers actually and watch this live fire demonstration.
I mean, bro, when else do you get to see real live fire from an AC-130?
So I actually was unsure because they haven't told us a freaking thing that what we were gonna see today.
Yeah.
I had no idea that we were gonna actually see this, but this is like the highlight of the day.
It's so different because I feel like I've been to air shows growing up.
Yes.
And they'll like fake that something shoots out and there's already like
No.
pre-deployed explosives on the ground. There's literally an AC-130 up in the sky.
I didn't even realize this, but they only circle left. So all the guns are on the left side of the aircraft. So this thing's circling, counterclockwise right now, and it's circling the bombing range right here. I have never seen something like this. I'm so stoked to watch this go down.
Unbelievable, dude.
They just handed us this pair of glasses because the way this AC-130 gunship works is it kind of paints the target with lasers, and they're worried about our vision and the lasers like hitting us. So they gave us these to kind of, I guess, block out the laser beams.
You can barely see it, but the AC-130 is just right there circling up above. And it's gonna drop some bombs right there. There it is. There's a smoke. And
the calls right now. They'll probably pass it around, each get a call, because that will meet their target.
Boom.
that is so sick.
What's really weird is the sequence of like noises to what we see, the target is hit, and then we hear the rapport from like the cannon up there, then the ground hit like a second later.
Yeah, I think they said 6 seconds. And
It
there's
can't
like
be- is it 6 seconds?
It
Is it
says
that
6 seconds
long?
from the plane to the target. So interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's delay from the plane, and then you see it hit, and then there's a delay from the noise to hear.
Yes. This is easily the best supercar run video that we have ever made.
There's literally an AC-130 live firing on us. So they've got the 30 mil, 105, and then they said the final missile will be a 176M.
A 176M? I don't even know what that is, but they said, oh, get ready, it's rad. Bro, I feel bad for anybody that thinks they can take on the United States of America. And I'm not even just being like cocky. I've been to many, many other countries across the world. There's some really strong militaries. I firmly believe that the US is like, how do you even compete, Like, I feel bad, like these guys, especially in some of these developing countries with small arms that like to terrorize people, going up against an AC-130 gunship, like, you're done. You're done. Your life is over. Nice choice.
There's the one away call. 24 seconds later, that munition will then impact the target.
Okay, on the way back, guys, this is what we're being told. This is actually the first thing we've known about in advance today. Everything's kind of been a surprise, and it's been a very pleasant surprise, but we are going to lower the rear deck lid. I don't even know what it's called, the rear hatch of the airplane. And we're gonna watch as an Osprey is refueled by our C-130.
Insane.
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 was an unbelievable day, unbelievable adventure. My beard is blown away, my hat is off. I don't even know what's happening anymore. My mustache is the last thing, it's barely staying on. I cannot believe we just experienced that. I'm still trying to process it in my mind, but thank you for following along. Please hit subscribe, like, holy cow, thank you so much.